Matt, great to catch up with you again. Coming in today, I noticed two things. One, the amount of stock that you seem to have is overflowing. Couldn't park my car anywhere, which is, I'm taking it as a good sign. And two, we've obviously met Jess today, who is a new employee with you. So I'm presuming quite a lot has changed here.
Yeah, to be fair, we've made some infrastructure upgrades, improvements. Jess coming in, she's currently studying university, so she's with us 3 days a week. But that's enabled us to have a look at all the procedures in-house, tighten some few bits up. But obviously with her coming in, when you start looking at bits within the business, you realise how much things that could be improved, how much has been missed. So yeah, it's really helpful, and it almost pays for itself because there's some just boring stuff like downloading bank statements, seeing how much VAT that you forgot to claim. So just cross-referencing
that's a good
that.
thing. Yeah,
Exactly. But these are the things that you don't have time to do when you're constantly driving forward. You never get the opportunity to sweep up behind you. And
so has it helped from the kind of customer service experience?
Well, yeah, because to be honest, Jess is brilliant. She's standing on the other side of the camera because she's just done this interview, so it can't be too nice. But having Jess on board, it just gives that opportunity for, she does a bit of running around, a bit of customer service. But the customers here just being able to offer someone a coffee. Joel also standing behind the camera. When you've got 3 customers, you can't really give this level of service that we'd like to, because you are firefighting, especially if there's a problem. One's a finance deal, one's obviously making bank transfers, you've got to assist them. I've heard Joel actually say, look, I can't have time to make you a coffee, but there's a machine, you could just crack on. Yeah. Which is quite questionable customer services. But our clients seem to like that. They like the personal touch. They like the lack of, for a different word, I wouldn't say professionalism, because we are still quite professional, but it relaxes them. We never try and sell cars to our customers. We always try and make sure they're as comfortable as possible. Yeah. And even something sounds stupid as helping yourself to a coffee, it just really settles people down.
No, I think so. I think you've always had more of a kind of family setup in a way, as opposed to that kind of traditional car salesman in a suit.
I wouldn't even call it a traditional sense. I thought we were a bit more a stereotypical salesman. Okay. Because what we find is when everyone comes to buy a car, everyone's got a massive guard up. It's almost like they turn up for a fight. Like they're really ready to like push back. They're really ready to like have all the answers for the questions we're going to fire at them. And when we say, here's the keys, just crack on, let us know if you need anything, you can almost see that whole demeanour just drop, because they've come ready for like a bit of an intimidating situation.
To be sold to.
Exactly that. And we have some customers that turn up and they know we don't sell them as many Porsches anymore as we used to, but a Porsche customer, for example, our sales tactic with Porsche customers is hand them the keys and say, you probably know more about this car than I do. So if anything, I might be asking you the questions, but if you need anything from me, let me know. And they do seem to like that approach. Obviously, it's not for everyone, but for us, like I said, we're not salesmen. We buy and sell cars, the nicest cars that we can find, and prep them to the best of our ability. You either buy them or you don't.
Absolutely.
That's where we're at.
Obviously, you work by appointment only here.
Yeah.
Are you still seeing that that's very strong in terms of people coming, online, booking in, or are you starting to get some kind of like walk-in trade coming in, and how do you deal with that situation?
To be honest, the appointment-only service is mainly so, as I said, we can give as much customer service as possible, because I use the example of having 3 customers lined up. For us, that's really not a great situation, because if you have appointment-only, one, we can't have all our cars on site. We're stocking about 120 cars at the moment, and at site we can have 70. So it's 50 that we have to go and get from our storage yard. By the time you drive them, it needs to be re-cleaned. We want to present them the best they can. Yeah. As much as we're not sales people here, we like to make sure our cars are presented lovely. So we want to make sure they're clean, they're tidy, they're ready for someone to come and view, so they get as nice experience as possible. So the appointment only service works well because we want to make sure we have the time for the customers, and we want to make sure the car is presented well. You want to look at a dirty car that you want to buy, it just sort of ruins the experience.
Of course.
So as much as it's essential for us, because we couldn't cope having people just walking off the street from infrastructure standpoint, but for the customers, we want to give them the service. So when you arrive, your car is ready.
Yeah.
Everything's all ready for them.
One of the problems you must come across, I'm presuming, I'm not saying this lightly, because it is the thing. You know, I drive in here with the team. We have to walk through the cars. I'm always looking and thinking, oh, I might upgrade to that, or I might do a deal with that. And I do genuinely forget that these are used cars. I mean, they look so good. They look brand new, you know, showroom ready, if that's a term. Is that sometimes a bit of a problem? People come in sometimes thinking they're buying new.
To be honest, we moved into this new site 2 years ago, and I'm not sure if it was the timing of the move or the way the market conditions have gone, but people's expectations have just gone through the roof. And to a degree, it's rightly so, because they are spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to, obviously, I'm quite an open person. You try your best to prepare cars the best you can, but you can never get them to 100%. But people's expectations have definitely increased. And if I don't do it, they'll go and look at 5 other cars, and one of them 5 would do it. So you need to get that balance between, you can't make your cars perfect, otherwise you'll be out of business in 6 months.
Yep.
But you need to make them to a very high level, just because when they come in, they're under our lights, and the lights are very brighter. So what we would have got away with previously in our outdoor space, the lights show up quite a lot.
Okay.
But it does force you to be better as a business, I'd say.
Yeah. You've got to keep moving forward and keep going.
Our valeting costs have gone through the roof, because obviously you need to make them as best as you can do. We used to flat and polish 50% of our cars. It's now become 100% of our cars, just to bring it up to that showroom. But obviously that comes at a cost, that comes at a time element, and it's just where we are. As I said,
of course,
people's expectations have gone up, but I think that's across the board, really. People are now willing to research. It's not a rush purchase anymore. Auto Trader have said it's gone from 4-week buying cycle, they've noticed, to now 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's an increase of 50%. So that just shows you the amount of research time people are taking.
Absolutely. I mean, we find that a lot as well now with regards to, you know, the marketing side, is that people will go through several due diligence periods. So whether they find it on the website and then they want to go and look at, well, how do they represent themselves, whether that's LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever it is, or even vice versa, back to where it is. So I think people have got a bit more time now, and as you say, money's a little bit tighter, so therefore they want to know that they're making the right choice.
This also comes from our sales, don't use liking the word tactics, approach, our sales approach, because 9 times out of 10, they've half made their decision already, because they wouldn't be here if they hadn't narrowed us down to a short list. So it's our job really to put our best foot forward in terms of customer service. We always try and look after our customer, make sure our reviews because as much as people have a good experience, very rarely do they take the time and sit there and review it. So we do ask and put incentives in for customers. If they can give us a review, they get a free cup of coffee. And it's just these little small details that we never used to have to do. Even sitting here talking to you, like we had someone who narrowed down a short list, and they looked at our YouTube channel, see myself and Joel seeing what we do, our processes and stuff. It just sent them to us rather than the 3 other short lists. Exactly, they would just need to feel comfortable.
Very good, very good. So I suppose that just to kind of wrap up, is there anything now that we're into a new year, 2026, is there anything new that's come from the industry or services or products or anything like that that we should know about?
It's quite interesting at the moment, because it seems to be a bit of a shift in change in terms of remarketing. Obviously for us, Auto Trader is a huge part of our business. We've seen a couple of other platforms starting to push them as well, which is good. Competition is good for us.
Of course.
Auto Trader have just responded by giving us a deal for 3 months. He was in today, that's why I'm just racking my brain. 3 months level up package, which means we jump onto the next level for 3 months, just to see if that assists our business. But it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because if you see the increase, you want to stay up there.
Of course.
Auto Trader are very, very clever. So they're
And what about from a customer point of view? Anything, I don't know, tires or I think before we were talking about something where you said one's a snooker ball as opposed to like a golf ball, and those types of things. Anything new or anything.
What
changed?
we're trying to do by obviously increasing the infrastructure, be able to do a bit more of a sales handover. So as I said, when we've got 3 customers in the office all hand over their cars at the same time, it's a bit of a essential parts only. Whereas obviously we're trying to get more of a handover process, so we can, as you said, talk about things like the paint protection, gap insurance, tyre and alloy wheels, all the extras with the cars. I know they've got a stereotype of being just like an add-on product, like a salesman type thing, but they are actually really good.
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
I had a guy come in this morning. Funny enough, I go Spurs with him. I'm not sure if I'm a Spurs fan.
I don't.
I don't think that's very good.
Some will laugh at you, and some
Exactly.
will be on your side. Don't worry.
But a guy that I go Spurs with, he just bought a Ranger off me this morning because he had his truck stolen, but he had gap insurance. So it was ideal for him. He's had his truck stolen, which ain't great, but he's got his gap insurance.
Yeah.
They paid him out. He's come and bought one off me. So
And suddenly it wasn't an extra. It was a necessity.
it would have cost him a fortune because obviously insurance pay out the trade price, obviously valued for 2.5 years. So them products do work, but you need to sit there and explain the products.
Yeah.
And you need to obviously not sell them because every product isn't right for the person.
No.
But you need to sit there, understand their wants, their needs, what they're using the vehicle for, and then you can give them the best.
And the changes you've done to the infrastructure have given you the time now to be able to do this.
Yeah, of course. We've got a new after sales manager in as well now. So obviously when you've got a sales call coming through and an after sales coming through, as the owner of the business, I want the sales call to be answered because that's how we pay our bills. But these after sales calls are just as important because obviously, unfortunately, when things go wrong, these are the people we mentioned before about the reviews.
Yeah.
If you don't answer the after sales, they're very quick to put the reviews on. So we just got to keep on top of that. Because,
And also, you want a happy customer and you want a happy referral.
Listen, there's a good saying that repeat business is best business. So we like I said, we put some different layers in this year. Obviously, it comes at a cost, so we do have to sell some more cars. But we had a good January.
Yeah.
But being more efficient as well. We spoke about making sure the costs are effective as possible, so that extra layer of infrastructure and extra cost will save us some money as well as being able to offer a better service.
Perfect. Okay, Matt, great catching up with you. Look forward to seeing you for the next one.
Fingers crossed.